Nothing is ever a coincidence. Nothing is ever an accident. The girls you see living their dream lives, traveling to exclusive destinations, moving effortlessly through elite circles, and attracting opportunities at every turn, aren't more special than you. But they do have one thing you might not: vision. Vision is what turns desire into direction. It's what separates motion from momentum. And it's the quiet force behind every curated life. It's what comes before the Pinterest scrolling and before the vision board. Hello, gorgeous It Girls, and welcome back to the It Girl Collective, where soft power meets strategy and your dream life becomes a blueprint. So let's be honest with ourselves. You aren't where you want to be because you don't know what you want. And that's not at all a judgment, it's more of a mirror. Most of us are chasing momentum, chasing productivity, chasing the version of ourselves we think we're supposed to become. But if you haven't named what you want, clearly, honestly, and unapologetically, how can you expect to build a life around it? If your dream is to become a stay-at-home mom, are you meeting the right kinds of men who would support that vision and have the financial means to support that kind of lifestyle? Are you preparing yourself mentally for what that actually looks like? Will you be wanting extra help, or are you planning to do it all on your own? If your dream is to make VP at your job, are you having those discussions about promotion with your manager? Are you talking about all the work that you've done and letting it be known? Are you vocalizing your desire to be promoted? As we all know, closed mouths don't get fed. So you should never be afraid to tell people exactly what you want and what you expect from them, because what one person won't give you, there is another just waiting for the chance to do so. Naming what you want is the first act of discipline. It's not just about the goals, it's about clarity. When you name what you want, you give yourself permission to stop performing for everyone else's expectations and only perform for your own. You stop multitasking your identity. You stop chasing vague success and start building intentional momentum. Wanting something specific does not make you selfish. It makes you strategic. It makes you focused. It makes you free. Once you know what you want, you can then work backwards. You stop asking, "What should I do today?" And you start asking, "What moves will get me closer to my end goal?" Suddenly, your habits have context. Your calendar becomes a tool and not a trap. Your energy gets filtered through purpose. Reverse engineering isn't rigid, it's actually liberating. It's the art of building a life that honors your desires and not just your obligations. Discipline gets a bad reputation, but real discipline isn't about punishment. It's about devotion. It's about showing up for the version of you that's waiting on the other side of that consistency. It's about choosing alignment over urgency. It's about saying, "I care enough about my future to act like it and behave in accordance to that." Discipline is how you protect your dreams from distraction. It's how you build trust with yourself. And trust is the foundation of every transformation. So if you're struggling to figure out what you want and how exactly to execute it, let's walk through step by step exactly the things I did and I'm currently doing and how you can implement this in your own life. So the first thing is to start noticing the things that other people have or that they're experiencing that spark a feeling of envy or admiration in you. I know envy is a loaded word, often wrapped in shame and judgment, but what if you used it as a compass instead? Are you envious of the girl at work who's constantly getting complimented on her outfits? Well, maybe that's a sign that it's time to explore your personal style and curate a wardrobe that reflects who you truly are. Or do you feel something stir within you when you see women traveling to luxurious destinations around the world and think, "Wow, I wish that were me"? Well, then start researching ways to travel beautifully on the budget that you do have, because desire doesn't wait for perfect conditions. Use envy as a compass, not a condemnation. It's not proof that you're lacking. It's proof that something inside you is ready to expand. Next is to remind yourself that what you want will shift depending on the season of life that you're in. And that's normal, that's human. Desires evolve, priorities need to be recalibrated here and there, and clarity isn't a one-time event, it's a rhythm. But with that being said, in every season, you do need 1 or 2 at the most singular focuses. Not 10, not 5, just 1 or 2 things that matter the most to you right now. Don't try to get back into the gym every day of the week and, cook every day of the week and get your money up by doing 2 side hustles after your 9 to 5. That is way too much. We're only human. Our energy is finite. And when we try to stretch it across too many goals, we actually dilute our impact and end up exhausting ourselves. So right now, one of my personal focuses is getting back into the gym, lifting at least 3 times a week. The summer that I've had was beautiful but chaotic. I traveled a lot, I made a big move into my own apartment, and I felt like I was constantly in motion. So I'm choosing the gym as my discipline anchor, not just for aesthetics, but for structure purposes, for grounding myself, for reminding myself that consistency is a form of self-respect. Singular focus doesn't mean small dreams. It means strategic energy. It means choosing depth over noise, and it means giving yourself the gift of progress, not just motion. Because when you honor 1 or 2 things fully, you build the momentum to expand into more. And that's how you move through seasons, with grace, with clarity, and with that power. Next is you need to start asking yourself better questions. When you feel lost, stuck, or overwhelmed by possibility, don't default to, what should I do? That question is rooted in performance, in pressure, in trying to meet expectations that might not even be yours. So instead, you need to ask, what do I want to feel? What do I want to build? What would make me proud 6 months from now? These questions shift the focus from productivity to purpose, from urgency to alignment, from noise to clarity. What do I feel helps you connect with your emotional compass. Do you want peace? Do you want excitement, confidence, freedom? Your feelings are clues. They point towards the kind of life that you're craving, even if you haven't mapped it out yet. What do I want to build invites you to think long term, not just about your daily to-do list, but about legacy. Are you trying to build a brand, a body of work, a lifestyle, a mindset? This question helps you zoom out and see the full architecture of your life. And what would make me proud 6 months from now? That's a grounding question. It cuts through the comparison and the chaos, and it brings you back to your own timeline, your own values, and your own evolution. Because clarity doesn't come from doing more. It comes from asking for better. And when you ask better, you move better. And when you move better, that's when you start attracting the things you truly want. So for all my journaling girls out there, these questions are a great Kickstarter to really figuring out what you want and writing down your thoughts about all of this. Your emotional anchor is your compass. It keeps you grounded when comparison creeps in. It reminds you that your path is yours and that clarity is actually a form of self-respect. So if you aren't where you want to be, start by asking, what do I even want? Not what's trendy, not what's expected. What do I want? Then build your vision backwards. Protect that vision with discipline. Honor it with consistency. And give yourself permission to evolve. Because clarity isn't just the beginning, it's the blueprint. And you're not behind, you're just one decision away from alignment. Because if you don't have a destination, how do you know which way to go on the map? Alright, it girls, I hope this chat inspired something in you and truly made you think about crafting the life that you want to live. We'll talk again soon.